Welcome to another episode of Watch Rewatch, the podcast that examines the art of the rewatch in all its forms. I'm Sean.
I'm John.
And we're back for another week. We took a little bit of a hiatus. We were off for 2 weeks.
We're back for episode 12.
Episode 12, season 1, episode 12. We're still on season 1. I don't know. I think we end season 1 when we get to the end of a network order, which is 26 episodes. Or at least that's what it was.
Now we're a SoundCloud network.
We're
a social network. We're on many networks.
We're on SoundCloud and iTunes. We're on 2 networks.
Wow,
That's about it.
That's insane. Can you believe that? Can you imagine if Mad Men was running on HBO and AMC at the same time?
Man, I mean, that would have been, I think, Wiener's dream.
2 shows...
Wiener? How do you say it?
I don't want to try it. I don't want to give that man any more credit. On to the next thing. So we're back. We had a 2-week break. We broke just before the Oscars, and then we had the Oscars. We saw a bunch of movies. What a whole debacle the Oscars was. What a whole roll in the hay that was.
Let's get right into the news, sorry, a shitty Keemstar reference. Fuck Keemstar. So the Oscars. Faye Dunaway fucked it up. Well, not just her. Brian Cullinan fucked it up.
Wow, you know these people's names? I still can't collect myself when I'm thinking about this. I believe you were asleep during the telecast.
I was asleep. I
texted you.
Yeah, and I was just out. The whole time at the Oscars.
I thought you had fainted because of what happened.
I mean, in a manner of speaking, I guess. No, I kept saying the whole time, I'm going to watch the Oscars. I'm going to watch all the Oscars movies. I'm going to be up to speed. Yeah. I didn't watch any of the Oscars movies like I said I was going to do. And when we came around, it was Sunday night. It was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I'm tired. I had a long week. I'm just going to go to bed. You know what? I stand by that decision. I feel like, for all the exciting controversy at the end, it was still a shit Oscars from what I saw.
Right. No, it was still a pathetic ceremony. And you know what? The worst part about it, and every week we come back to it, Trump was right. He wasn't right before the Oscars, but afterward he was like, the ceremony has lost its glamour. And I'm like, that's exactly what those telecasts have done. They've just lost the glamour. Now it's just this big whatever the hell it is. I don't know. It was fun. It was fine. It's the Golden Globes now have more credibility than the Academy Awards because of their fuck up.
Yeah.
They couldn't run their own goddamn ceremony properly. Like, they couldn't just put on an award show. Like, the People's Choice Awards doesn't even do that.
No. Well, PwC, I think, is the one that's going to take all the heat in this because they literally have one job, and that's to hand out the fucking envelopes. And you know what it is? Here's the problem. And, don't sue me, Brian Cullinan. This Brian guy, this PwC asshole,
Price Waterhouse Cooper. No,
Sterling Cooper. No, this guy, he's one of these fucking media whore guys.
Right.
Who, you go on his Twitter page, the banner picture says Hollywood.
Whoa.
And
it still does.
It still does. Last I checked, which was a couple days ago. So it says it has a picture of the Hollywood sign.
He's proud of his accomplishments.
No, he's one of these guys who wants his 15 minutes. Here's how bad it got, and this might be some kind of reputation smearing that's happening because everybody's playing everybody and they're sending leaks are happening. But somebody spoke to Variety saying that at one point he pitched the Oscar writers that they should do a sketch with the guys who have the briefcases, i.e. him, and he should be in it. He wanted to be in a comedy sketch.
Yeah.
And he likes when people talk about the fact that he looks like an old, fucking shitty Matt Damon. And
what?
Yeah, people compare his looks to Matt Damon.
Does he have a family?
All I know
he must not, because he would have them parading around with him too.
All I know is that Brian, this guy, he's one of these guys. That's why he was tweeting backstage. He tweeted right before the thing happened. I think
I know what you mean by one of these guys. Like, he's very much self-centered. Is that it?
He's a fame whore. He's a fame whore.
Yeah, fame whore. Yeah,
he got caught up in that instead of doing his fucking job, which is literally just handing out envelopes. And they're supposed to have a protocol in place where if somebody messes it up, they have memorized the winners, and within 30 seconds, within 10 seconds, they hear it and it's not right. They go out and they correct it before it happens. Not 3 fucking speeches in.
This is where the perfect storm happens. Now you have, we mentioned this last on episode 9, I think it was. We were saying Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty are going to come out and present the Oscar to La La Land.
Oh my God.
And they did.
Technically.
Because first of all, in no order, you have the expectation that La La Land is going to win. Everyone knew that. And then you also have 2 old people who people just don't get because people too don't get old people. Yeah. And then you also have Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty who are not getting attention anymore. And for them, this is a big gig, handing out this Oscar. And then they're confused. And I think it was the New Yorker, he says that they're actors, they're trained to just perform and not go outside the limits of thinking.
Here's my problem. Warren Beatty clearly knew something was up. He was stalling for time, and Faye Dunaway...
But he showed the envelope to Faye in confusion, like, what should we do? And Faye probably didn't have her glasses, and he threw her under the bus because she announced it.
I don't think he threw her under the bus. I think she looked at it and was like, "You're just fucking it up. It's La La Land. This is my moment to call it out." But to her credit, later at the variety party, she said, "I really fucked that up." Because she did.
But she's never going to be invited to anything anymore, and it's already so hard to get her out in public anyway. This is such an embarrassment. And then you have the Academy Award president, Cheryl something, who was sitting on the mezzanine or whatever, watching the whole thing go down like the Titanic with front row seats.
Yeah.
What a debacle. And then, like, remember last year was the whole Oscars So White thing, and then Moonlight got robbed of their whole, I'm crying. Like, everything is ruined now. It's all ruined. Like, it's just ruined.
I mean, to be fair, sorry. Sneeze.
I'm crying, you're sneezing.
I'm crying, I'm sneezing. It's like, this is
silly. Anyway,
no. Truthfully, I don't really care about the Oscars, and I think it's kind of I think Jerry Seinfeld has a good bit where he did that speech about why award shows are stupid, and I generally agree with that. While on one hand I'm still happy for like the Montreal Sound Mixer winning.
That happened, yeah. I had a great Oscar viewing party. It was with a bunch of
what did he say?
Allô
Montréal, quelque chose?
Something like that. Yeah.
Good, man. A little shout out for Montreal.
Right.
Shout out to Montreal. What up?
But the Oscars have never really been about, like, they've never.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to like. It's fun to hate.
Yeah.
It's just look, and I'm not going to be so much of a snob that I think it's like, oh, the Oscars should never happen. No, whatever. It's
the history of it. It's the what won. Yeah. Because in the future, it's a good list to kind of like go back on. Like any movie that wins an Oscar, you look at that year and that movie, and you're like, okay, well, this is what human beings did.
And you can usually see there's a trend where the stuff that wins the Oscars isn't always the kind of stuff that has the most weight culturally as things age. You'll get the actual classics that come out after the Oscars, and it's often not what won. Sometimes things line up where the things that win are the the modern classics or the things that age well, but then you get the crash years where shit like that wins.
But then
who's thinking about that? Who's rewatching Crash?
High schools,
masochists.
Schools and
really
prisons. Therapy sessions. Look at the characters in Crash and tell me which one you relate to. I relate to the Sandra Bullock character because one time I got mad at my maid when she was Oh man! Boy. But again, I don't mean to be so angry and passionate about this because it's just a throwaway award show. But I'm talking like from people like these are people in Hollywood and they fucked it up so bad. They fucked it up so bad and in such a way where they still tried to pretend like they were the best. And the whole night, the ceremony,
it was a real amateur.
I don't know if you were watching the ceremony, but they were just so proud of themselves that night. All these they were all bashing Trump. Kimmel was encouraging people to talk about Trump, and it was a very political evening because a lot of people went on stage and they were they would use their moment to say something, whatever. And then they fucked it up so bad at the end. Like I literally called my Uber when Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty said La La Land. I'm like, bye guys. I have my shoes on the door.
I'm done.
And
that's it. I'm out.
And I'm out. And then they're like, "No, John, come back, come back." I'm like, "What? There's something happening." And there's all this confusion. And then I'm just watching it. Oh yeah, Moonlight won. You're like, it was crazy. What? And then I'm thinking, what's happening in Vegas right now? Are people getting payouts now, getting the fuck out of there?
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Because there was like 5 minutes.
Some people probably got killed because of that.
There were 5 minutes.
That's it. You won. You won that bit. Get your money and leave.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, really.
Oh my goodness gracious, golly gee whiz! Yeah. It was just like it was insane, and I'm just glad that it's over, and I'm glad La La Land did not win Best Picture.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so happy Moonlight won because Moonlight it's not.
Don't say anything about it. I still haven't watched it, but
it's like The Silence of the Lambs for me in terms of like a very weird Best Picture winner in terms of like A Beautiful Mind and
the more traditional winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moonlight is in there with Silence of the Lambs and like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Fuck, I can never get my levels right on this show. I'm really sorry.
I'm thinking about that movie right now. I think I've only ever seen it in Paniscan.
What movie?
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh. You never saw the widescreen version?
I don't think I did. No, I think I fucked up by just watching the VHS and then buying the pan and scan DVD.
Oh, okay.
Too many people complained when they got their DVD players that there were bars, and then it's like,
I remember that, and I remember that Blockbuster had a little cardboard cutout that they put on the fucking counter that explained, this is how it was shot. You're not losing anything. In fact, you're gaining things on the sides. And people were like, I still don't like it. Didn't film my TV.
What a patronizing sign.
Yeah. No, but people were fucking stupid. They needed that.
Oh, man.
This is the one time I'm going to be on Blockbuster's side. Good job, guys. Now you're gone. So, yeah, Oscars, I don't know. Oh, boy. You know what that creepy music signifies, guys? A cure for wellness. And I need a cure after seeing that movie, because that movie took years off my life. It was a piece of shit!
And I downloaded the album just to have that one
just
song.
To have that, and they use that fucking thing
relentlessly.
You know, at one point you're like, ooh, that's a cool motif, and then they use it again.
I don't know.
And again, and again. Hold on. And again, and again, and again. And again, and again, and again. Hold on, and again, and again. That's, you think you're
with
getting,
a slow camera.
And again, and again, and again. You think you're getting tired of me saying that? That's not even a tenth of how much they use that stupid riff in the movie. And again, and again, and again.
Leave Basil Poulidouris. No, it's not Basil Poulidouris. He did Starship Troopers. That's an excellent score. No,
hold on. What's his name again?
Basil Poulidouris?
That's great. That's a great name.
Yeah.
I like that name.
He scored Conan the Barbarian and all this other stuff.
Basil Poulidouris.
Wallfish. Benjamin Wallfish. He's like a Zimmer guy who like works with Zimmer on side projects and then like hops ship and does his own stuff. Okay. Like Klaus and Gregson Williams and
I don't know
Klaus Badelt?
I don't know the names, but
composers, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Cure for Wellness. I was thinking about it and how it's like Christopher Nolan's Harry Potter movie. It's like Harry Potter and the Cure for Wellness. It's about a guy who gets a letter to go to a school mountaintop area to learn magic, but instead of magic, he's learning about a cure for wellness. I felt like, because his name's Harry Lockhart too, and there were just so many Harry Potter similarities between this and that movie.
It's an awful movie, and I really wanted to like it. It had the best trailer of the year.
It definitely had the best trailer of the year.
Yeah, best trailer of the year. You know, John referred to it as trailer porn. Everything was just super precise, well done.
And the trailer did not deliver, or the movie did not deliver.
Not
on
in
that
any
trailer.
way. Not in any way.
It looked fantastic. So. It was useless.
Yeah, it was trying to do this like allegory about, you know, the business world and like all the consumerism. They were trying to make
they do that?
They did initially.
I
where
didn't
it's
even
like
know they did that.
They were doing that, and then it just devolved into like, oh, there's a guy.
It's so devolved.
Who like is old,
and there's a mystery. Like, how dare they give you a mystery?
A dumb mystery. There's basically, here's the mystery. There's a fucking like count or some shit who's like the guy who lives in the mountain in the 200 years ago, and he found like a way to distill the water through some shit to make him live forever.
What's the name of the aquifer?
I don't know.
There's a lot.
There's an aquifer with water.
Water and
then they run
scary?
the eels, and they put the eels in people's bodies, and then they slowly dehydrate the bodies, and then they make this essence.
Which is the poster of the movie.
Yeah, and the essence keeps you alive forever.
If you're fascinated by this, go see it. But 147 minutes?
147
minutes. And I was dozing off a little bit.
How dare he?
And we drank wine. If you listen to the previous podcast.
We drank wine before going to see that.
And I was so excited.
We were so pumped. We were like, you know, a little buzzed. We went to go see that movie, and buzz gone in fucking
40 minutes. You know,
40 minutes.
The good 40 minutes are good. And I read a review.
40 minutes were good, and then you're just like, nope.
I read an interview with Gore with the Variety, and he had done the press junket for Cure, and all these reviewers had only seen the first 40 minutes, and so they were all very intrigued, but they were not giving Gore what he wanted to hear in terms of like, oh, I love what you did here kind of thing. It's more like, well, we're not going to sign off on this mortgage until we see the rest of it, because he's like, oh, well, you understand that, you know, this Hannah character is essential to the movie. And I was like, who's she? Because we don't even meet Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend until like, you know, halfway in the movie.
Right. They were dating, or they're married now?
One or the other.
Yeah, they're married, I think. Weirdly.
But she's so weird in that movie. But like in that weird, like, oh, we hired a quote unquote ugly actress to, like, you know, And it sucks too when you get these actresses who end up playing incest characters because of their looks. It's like, oh, she looks this way because she's made of incest, and the movie does
made of incest.
I don't know, made of incest because she was made of like eels, water, and incest.
I don't know. There's a whole. It's
There's one of the most terrible scene where she like has her Carrie moment, and the eels are like going in the water around her like Carrie blood. Oh, just so.
Oh weird. Yeah, right. Yeah, like has her period in the water, and then she gets sexually assaulted by her father.
So she's like Hermione in this, and he's Dumbledore.
Look, I don't know what kind of association you can make with Harry Potter. All I know is that movie. I need a cure after seeing that movie. It was terrible, genuinely terrible.
But like, look, I downloaded the song, and like, I'm still thinking about it. And
I mean, I guess there's room for running it over in your mind.
Would you put it in film, like in film school? Would they like use clips of it?
No, absolutely not. No, it's a piece of shit.
There was
movie.
Nothing in it for you to like just kind of hold on to.
Totally irredeemable.
Like it looked great. Like it just the opening shot. In fact, I actually enjoyed the opening. How dark it was and foggy, and just the first 5 minutes are fine. I like the reveal of the cure for wellness.
They steal the fucking stupid.
They do
the exact same
panic
room credit sequence with text in the air.
I couldn't believe it.
Every time you see that, you know that a movie's not going to be good because somewhere somebody made a dumb decision. Yep. Like that's been done. You can't do that anymore.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And like no one on the crew was like. You know, the Panic Room did this, and then Gore's like, "Get out!"
Yeah, you fired.
But Gore has an Oscar. I don't know if that's like it changes.
What did
the way
he win an Oscar for?
Best Animated Feature Rango.
Oh right, I forgot he was doing
2011
that.
or 2012. But Rango's good. But this one wasn't.
No, this was not good at all. I don't know. I feel like he's one of these guys that they don't give him enough. They don't have enough restrictions on what he can do. If you go in there and make a 147-minute. R-rated.
How dare you?
Studio
picture, and then there's just nothing redeemable about it other than the looks and like
even the acting's not very good.
What's his face? The other guy. This is a sad
Jason
episode,
Isaacs.
Guys. This might be the death of the watch because I think we're just going to rewatch for the rest of our lives. I can't watch any fresh Oscars because rewatching the Academy Awards is fascinating.
Yeah. No, I think this was. Rewatching is always safe. Watching is a risk. When you go to watch something new, it's like, and I get it, you gotta. And I really went in blind on Cure for Wellness. John went in less blind, even though we agreed to it.
Yeah,
I understand, John. John,
my thumb can't help scrolling.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's it. But I don't know. I really wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I think sometimes you do need to just kind of browse the reviews to get an idea because. Man, that was a fucking complete waste of time.
It was a real waste of time. It could have been a good 90-minute movie, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it could have been. I mean, not a great one. It could have been like an okay one, but the length and like the oh man,
that ending would have been
spin
fun.
their wheels so much.
Oh, and that ending just comes completely. It's like 5 movies all. It's like it just felt so Anyway, I can't articulate it well enough because I'm not a paid reviewer. Once I have reviewer money, I'll choose my words correctly, like Armand White did. You know what he did? He gave Jordan Peele the one awful review to bring him from 100% to 99%.
Of course
on
he
Tomatoes.
did. That's Armand White's shtick.
Who gives a whatever? I don't care. Yeah. But that's funny, right? That would happen.
Well, no, I mean it's not surprising. Armand White's built his whole career around doing that. He's the paid contrarian.
Just for
if people like it, he doesn't like it. If people like it, or people hate it, he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that's a way to be relevant now. I mean, he's gotten a lot of blog posts about it. We're talking about him.
Yeah, and I'm going to go see this movie, and I'll probably side not with him, but side with not wanting to like it because that's my kind of shtick.
Oh, because it's so popular. Yeah, there's Get Out that we want to see, or that John's I think going to see tomorrow. I'm going to see whenever I can. There's definitely Logan, which I've heard great things, surprisingly, like from a lot of people, like legitimately. Good reviews, great reviews, probably the best reviews any superhero movie's ever gotten, mostly because it's not really like a superhero movie.
Right.
And it's crushing at the box office right now. It's making a ton of money.
Oh my
Lord. Like a $33 million Friday and then like on track for I think $76 million weekend.
They're going to make Logan 2 then.
No, I don't think so. But with somebody else, because Hugh Jackman's done with the character.
I love these sequels.
Logan 2.
Oh yeah.
The Loganing.
Logan 2, but then they would use like the claws as like the Roman numeral for Logan 2.
Just 2 of the claws come out.
They've done exactly. Anyway, that's so funny. The Cure for Wellness though.
Yeah. The Cure for Wellness. But looping back around to the Oscars, I kept saying I was going to watch a lot of those movies. I actually didn't watch any of them, so I apologize for anybody that thought I might have a nice hot take on an Oscar movie. I probably have nothing good to say about them. Or rather, I don't have anything intelligent or adding to the conversation.
No, we're really not adding more. I think what's important to take from this is that it's everyone's fault. It's not just Faye's or Warren's. It's definitely PricewaterhouseCoopers douchebag guy.
It's a cultural failing.
It is a big cultural failing.
This is, it failed because America's failed.
No one was ready. No one's watching. No one's aware. The awareness, the Cure for
The Cure for Awareness?
The Cure for Awareness campaign. Harry Potter and the Cure for Awareness.
Have you been watching anything?
Well, I was just going to say,
I've been doing some rewatching.
I had a hell of a time watching Expanse.
Wait, you watched Expanse? Oh, hold on. John watched a sci-fi show. And not just that, ready for the shitstorm.
I had to watch it. It was just like, it just, because I couldn't.
How much did you watch? How many episodes? Season 1, episode 1, of course. Did you do more than one?
I didn't finish the first episode.
Oh! I'm not surprised, but this is good. I want to embiggen my reactions to this. John! Okay.
I can't. Okay. Well, I went in like with a Cure for Wellness to watch it, and then it started off. It was well enough, and then
what happened?
And
what knocked you off the rails?
And then it just kept. There were so many and thens. You know what I'm. Literally, it's a woman waking up in a prison, and she is confused as the viewer, but it's a pilot, so it's fine. And then she gets out, and it's abandoned-ish, and then she sees these like ghosts in electrolytes or something. Cut. And then we see this like Total Recall Mars crap society with Thomas Jane in a hat he picked and walking around, being cool, offering such fast plot throwaway lines, and I'm like, this is so sci-fi, it's very
dropping you into the world,
so fast and furious, but not. Like, it doesn't look lived in. It's just lines being set out. And then cut. And then there's another group of people. And then there's another. And then at this point, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to start sharpening pencils. I literally, because I had my crayons out and I was literally sharpening. And Keith, who I was watching, poor little Keith, he wanted to watch it. And he was just so into the world, like Steven Spielberg watching a movie, just like thumbs to the mouth.
Oh, yeah. The Steven Spielberg pose. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's
when John and I sat down to watch BFG, we thought together, how do we dream? I watched that BFG too. Keith hated that. We were so bored with BFG.
I didn't see BFG.
Janusz filmed it.
Janusz!
There were so many lights. Anyway, so The Expanse.
Yeah.
And Keith and I got in a little. He's like, "Well, you're gonna watch it. You're not gonna watch it." I am watching it, and so I had to not watch it, and he ended up watching it on his own.
So you checked out after like 30 minutes, not even 20 minutes.
I got everyone's side of the story, and
To be fair, the pilot is a little bit all over the place. It's not an easy watch. I think you have to give it, and I know this is the first 4 or 5 episodes. I know you're like, why do I have to give it time? It's got to fucking hook me on the first one. I get it.
It doesn't have to hook. I did 3 episodes of Taboo, and I'm still gonna watch more, or I'm still gonna watch Expanse with Keith if he's watching it, you know, kind of thing. And I like keeping, because you watch it, and I want to be on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah, no, but it's fair. I like that you hate this stuff though.
I don't hate it, but like this, it wasn't easy for me. And Thomas Jane in that hat and that swagger, I just couldn't fucking believe it. Like, good for you. You're the biggest star in this set, and, good for you.
I had the same reaction to the hat. I was like, really, the hat? It's terrible. It's like
that's the same PricewaterhouseCooper guy. He wears that hat in LA when he goes buys his like yoga ice cream.
It's the Milady meme hat. It's that neckbeard hat.
That guy.
Yeah, they get rid of the hat later though. Thank God. Somebody in the wardrobe department was like, Twitter hates this. we looked at the tweets. People are like, nice hat, neckbeard.
No, we're smiling. This episode finally became the Cure for Wellness.
This is the Cure for Wellness. We figured it out. Shit on everything.
So the Expanse happened, and Taboo ended.
I don't even know what Taboo is.
It's the Tom Hardy show.
Tell me about it. This guy.
I'll be a little bit more eloquent this time, but it's about a guy. It's about a Tom Hardy character. It's Tom Hardy who goes back in time and plays a guy who just came back from like a war in Africa, and he's come back to avenge his family because his mother is a Native American, and his father is.
And he has like an estate. There's like a house.
Yeah, well, he digs all this stuff up. What's that Nicholas Nickleby or the David Copperfield or the Charles Dickens thing with like the Oliver Twist motherfucker or the Great Expectations guy, like the guy who comes
I like that you're just going through all sorts of
it's all these guys with like rubbish beginnings, and they ascend to like aristocracy.
Aristocracy, right? Okay.
Anyway, so all that being said,
he inherits a homestead or
well,
something.
Well, he had it, and he polishes it up and digs up all these old ruins of people who are like, I knew your father, I know you and my father, and he's like kind of threatening, and so he goes around shitty London, like Jack the Ripper London, and like anyway, the finale happened, and I don't know how many people were killed in that, but like in one fell swoop, here's the funny thing: we didn't know we were watching the finale. We thought we were just watching episodes.
And you're like, "What's going on?"
I thought there might have been 10 episodes, but there were 8, and so we're watching it, and then boom, main character, boom, main character, boom, main character,
wow.
and like all of the London is burning to the ground, and I'm like, this feels like a finale. And Keith's kind of like not tearing up, but he's like, no, because like he's losing, like he's
all the investment that he put into these characters gone.
And like I think I also kind of like bothered him too. I was like, this is a mini series. They're not doing other shows. He's like, what? And so like in one 5-minute instant,
is that it? Is it over?
No, apparently there's going to be 2 more seasons. But like for him, for a moment, he was losing the show.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But was it at least compelling to watch?
The final episode, it was compelling in like the way it was like a Game of Thrones finale where like they just solve every problem by killing people.
That's a bit of a meme now, though, just killing people. I feel like that's lazy
killed everyone,
filmmaking.
but like he also did it in such a contrived way. Like he played on his like witchcraft, like I'm insane aspect to like get gunpowder somewhere, and it like the end of the finale was just everyone got gunpowdered and blowed up.
Oh,
yeah.
It's FXX.
I ruined the show if people are listening to it, but anyway, yeah, it's FX. If you like Tom Hardy being naked, I mean, it's a good show. He's naked a lot. He's got a good, selling point.
He's got a good selling point. That's a new euphemism.
But if you watch him in that Nemesis movie, he's just disgusting.
I'm not a huge Tom Hardy fan.
You know what I'm
talking
about?
He's a competent actor, but I'm never like, I got to see that movie because Tom's in it.
Right, but I'm talking about from like an attractive point of view, like as a stud. Like, do you remember him in Nemesis?
What is the Nemesis movie?
Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh, right. He's younger.
Picard's clone.
Yeah, Picard.
And he's just disgusting in that. But then he's so hot in Inception, like just like lumberjack.
He's wearing
hot.
the suit and all that stuff. He's got like a nice haircut.
Anyway, I'm getting hot here.
It's getting hot
in
here.
So Taboo and Expanse and what the hell else? Feud started. Remember the Ryan Murphy show?
Right.
I started watching Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and this is literally Bette Davis and Joan Crawford tearing at each other in a house, and it's so morbid. 1958, and like in the first 30 minutes.
And the feud is about the making of this movie and the feud that these two actresses had.
Yeah.
Is the show on now?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet because I want to watch the movie first before I watch it.
So you understand a little bit of the context.
Yeah, and like there was a lot of these old Hollywood movies from the 50s that are so self-aware and smug, and it's like this movie, that Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. There's a lot, because it's a movie about fallen actresses, like actresses who were like lost the light moved away. The Eye of Sauron isn't on them anymore, and so now these actresses.
Wow, that seems surprisingly real for
like
a movie
Sunset
in the
Boulevard.
50s.
You ever hear about that movie? That's like
no.
That's same kind of thing. An actress who's held up in a house and everyone's forgotten about her, and she just lives in the glory days. But in this movie, it's about 2 competing sisters who have this past. But there's a dead bird already in the first 30 minutes, and she's a relentless drunk. She's like the Bette Davis. She like drinks like gin
in the movie.
In the movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen Feud yet, but
that's going to be interesting because I'm like, how can you top the drama from the movie? There must be some good stuff.
And it's black and white, and it's just very melodramatic. We should watch it.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Okay.
Shit, we should watch it.
We should watch
the first 30 minutes. It's not long. I think it's like an hour and 58.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
I would love to watch that.
Yeah, and I won't start watching Feud until because like again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to see the movie, and it's Ryan Murphy, so it could either be great or completely terrible.
This is pure Ryan Murphy. This isn't like OJ Ryan Murphy, where he had like he had the FBI profiler's book and the writers of Ed Wood.
Maybe that's why that was good.
That was incredible because again, it's
not pure Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, and
Ryan Murphy left to his own devices tends to be pretty hacky.
After the fact, like I'm sure Feud will be great in the first 2 episodes, and then boo.
It's not going to age well. Well, for the rewatch, I actually went to a long-standing favorite, but one I hadn't seen in a long time, Indiana Jones. Vicky, John just did the Spielberg pose. By the way, since we're on a podcast, I'll describe how you do the Spielberg pose. Put your hands in the prayer position, together, and take that, and where your thumbs are, put them up to your nose. That's the Spielberg like contemplative position. And look it up, Google it. You'll see like a bunch of pictures. It's great. So it's like you have to do.
Well, because like you go to your third eye if you're doing yoga. And
it's like the third eye move.
But what is this? Like this position is just like you're fast. He also does this.
Oh yeah.
He does the cat's cradle. He folds
cat's cradle and your
the
index fingers up.
Yeah. And this is like
these are you know what? We're gonna start like. These are power moves, like in that fucking Netflix show where they like do the like different chakra shit.
Okay, I don't know.
The
I don't
OA,
know. I'm very
the OA.
excited. Yeah.
Keith was telling me about this.
Okay, yeah.
So this is like Steven Spielberg has his whole like these are
or sign language.
We should do like an infomercial. Steven Spielberg power moves. Actualize your real self.
Get on stage and talk with our hand in our mouth because we'll never reveal.
That's it. Your hands and that's it because you're a serious filmmaker. Okay, that's too annoying to hear.
Harrison, I want you to fucking do it.
I like to think that's his actual direction. Just fucking do it. That's why they're all good. All the Harrison performances were good.
Now, Catherine, when you walk through the terminal, look hot.
Oh man. So yeah, Indiana Jones.
Which one?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one.
Okay. I hate that it's called Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then they top off the rest of them with Indiana Jones and the Thing, and then when they re-released it, it's now called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, because the movie was just called Raiders of the Lost Ark when it came out. It's the same. It's the A New Hope thing.
But Raiders is like a black hole movie. It's like a snake that eats its own tail. Because like it's essentially you take Indiana Jones out of that movie, and everything would have happened anyway, and the world would have been fine.
Yeah, that's true. But it's entertaining.
Sure.
Very, very. So the context behind me watching this is Vicky, my wife, she had never seen it, which
No
I
way.
was so surprised.
Wow.
It's very rare
You
that
would think.
Yeah, it's one of those
at
ones.
One point.
Somebody would see or it'd be on somewhere. So I was like, we have to watch this now. And she's like, she was into it because it's Harrison Ford in his prime.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
oh my lord, sweaty at the beginning.
Yeah,
like does he have chest hair?
Yeah, he does.
He's ripped too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like pretty jacked. It's like him in his early 30s.
Tom Hardy, Harrison Ford. Mike, I'm gonna knock this microphone down.
Yeah. So we go into it and opening credits. Paramount logo transitions into the mountain, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that." Yeah. It's so great, and it's just a really, really incredibly made movie. The action sequences are great. The sets are surprisingly big, and like you have these cool things where you're like, they couldn't use CG for all of that. Like that huge excavation site, that doesn't seem like an impressive set now. But watching that movie, I was like, "Whoa, that's all real. All that background, they built all this stuff. They had like 200-300
It's incredible
extras.
to consider that. I mean, it won the rightfully won all the Academy Awards, but like this is a very Spielberg in those years is excellent.
Oh my god, yeah.
But
and Raiders, watching it again, I wasn't sure because I hadn't seen Raiders in a long time, and I wasn't sure that movie. I saw that movie when I was a kid, and it scared me so bad. The melting Nazi face at the end.
You stuck around to the end. That was my least favorite Indiana Jones as a kid.
Dude, that scared me so bad that night I puked.
Oh whoa!
Yeah, I was in bed and I was so scared, and I was like, and I barfed.
It's terrifying.
So it's a memorable movie for me. But watching it again, I wasn't sure because I hadn't seen it. I had seen it since then, like
right. But to commit and to be in the zone, to
be in the zone and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I think 6 or 7 years ago was when I watched it.
Have you rewatched it since rewatching it?
No.
Did you go back?
No. But I watching it again, it just the complete excellence of the filmmaking really hit me. I mean, there's not a wasted frame in that movie. There's not a lot of you don't have everything is the whole thing where they talk about when you cut into a scene when you need to be into it and out before don't show somebody opening the door, walking in, getting in there, cut in and cut out as quickly as you need to. That movie's all about that. They're like in and out, super precise editing, incredible stunt work too. The whole Jeep chase when they're going down the canyon.
I've seen a lot of because they teach that in stunt school.
In stunt school, they show you how it's done, but all of that it holds up well, holds up really well, and
it for an aged movie, you know what I mean? Like a movie that you can appreciate even more so considering the time it came out at. You know, because this is not a stand on your laurel, pull up your laurels or whatever. Like I have a speech to make kind of movie. This is a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. It's an adventure movie. It's timeless, I think.
But that and Star Wars is like it's Lucas's like
and Lucas in his prime, and Lucas being a producer.
I like
on
Kasdan
it.
as a writer on that, and it's a Slocum Douglas
Slocum, yeah. It's really nicely shot, very classically shot. Looks like old Hollywood. And there's still moments where I was like, I don't know how they did that. The big fight with the giant Nazi, the big shirtless Nazi in front of the airplane.
Rips him to shreds.
You see shots clearly with Harrison Ford and that guy and what appear to be moving propellers that couldn't have been done with CGI at the time.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know if they had real propellers and they just...
Or maybe like a glass sheet.
Glass sheet or like...
I see that snake reflection.
Yes, you see the snake reflection. They put a plexiglass sheet between Harrison Ford and the snake.
They use that shot in Paramount promotions and in
all the time.
And it's like you can see the mistake. Stop using that shot when you're promoting the movie.
It's a lovable thing.
That's the only mistake I can see in those movies.
That's one of the first things I remember learning about on IMDb. You know, where like, this is it's a trivia thing, and then you pull it up. You're like, I know.
I think I saw it before.
Ain't no problem with the movie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna log in and click away.
Yep, that's gonna be under goofs and spoofs.
But wait, what? IMDb hasn't gotten back with authenticating my trivia.
That's it.
I submitted trivia once to IMDb.
Oh yeah, did you get in?
It did, but I don't know if I'm the one who like made it work, but I saw Polar Express like the day it came out, in 2004, and there's a part when the kid pulls the goddamn, doesn't matter. The line, I've always wanted to do that, is like it runs through a lot of Zemeckis movies, all the Back to the Futures and Polar Express, and it's like, in this movie, it makes a callback to when all the characters pull the horn on the train. I've always wanted to do that.
Okay.
So I said that. And I felt proud of myself back in 2004.
Oh, because he does that in all his movies.
Yeah, or there's a character. I don't know how many trains he has in that stupid Zemeckis. He had a movie Allied out this year.
Really?
Yeah, Marion Cotillard and Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah,
that was Zemeckis.
Yeah, it didn't really make a big impact.
No, it didn't, and it was so flat, like 50%. And I spoiled myself on the ending. She is the spy.
She is the spy.
Yeah, well, she is a spy, but she loves him. So it's like.
That seems like a...
She's not in it to kill him, and like 'cause the trailer makes it seem like she goes out of her way to be, like, to have a family and to infiltrate and not care about having a... But no, she does love him, and she's... Anyway.
Wow. That seems kind of...
I spoiled Allied for...
Nobody cares. Nobody's going to see that movie. Zemeckis, though, he hasn't has he had a good movie
Flight
lately?
Was pretty good, but Flight is
Flight. I never saw Flight.
Flight is an adult picture. It's a very sobering movie about addiction.
A sobering movie about addiction.
Yeah, I don't ever want to I want to be on the straight and narrow. But then the premise of that movie is that this guy is like high and drunk as a fucking skunk.
Yeah. But he lands the plane.
But he lands the plane because of his instincts. It's like everyone can do it because they planned it, but because he's just so naturally talented. And I think the point of the movie is that, well, imagine how great you can be if you didn't have this to fall back on. Yeah. I think was the point. And then Denzel just,
Denzel
just really plays that guy to it. And that's not a showy movie. Like if you were to compare, who would win in a fight, Denzel in Flight or Indiana Jones? Because Indiana Jones isn't a good fighter. If he didn't have weapons, he'd be a pretty shit fighter.
The classic scene where the guy pulls out the sword, he just shoots him.
Yeah, he's always on the cusp of being beaten. Even in Last Crusade, he almost falls off.
But Harrison Ford, that's a meme actually, where Harrison Ford always gets the shit beaten out of him in movies. And I think there are supercuts on YouTube, but Harrison Ford, he has this face where he's holding on to the edge. Look it up. Harrison Ford has this same struggling face when he's about to fall off a cliff. I feel like he's also always on the verge of falling off.
I don't want to look
cliffs.
at it because it'll just ruin any chance I have of watching him live in anything.
No, man, you got to do it. You got to watch Harrison Ford. He always gets beats up. He always gets beats ups.
He beats up some beats. He was in this hilarious movie called Morning Glory with Diane Keaton, Rachel McAdams, Patrick Wilson. It's about a good...
When was this?
4 years ago. Produced by Bad Robot. J.J. Abrams was an on-set producer. It's about... Rachel McAdams is this morning talk show producer. And she's got Diane and Harrison as these old curmudgeon coasters.
I literally never heard about
It's a romantic comedy-ish, but it's about a woman in the workplace. And it's good.
Who directed it?
It's a guy, Roger Mitchell. He did Changing Lanes with Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
He did Notting Hill. Did those are two I'll stop at because I'm not going to dig deeper. But have you seen Changing Lanes? If we're going to change into another movie,
I have seen Changing Lanes.
That's an interesting movie too.
Yeah, it's not a particularly great one though.
No, I mean it's not fun to watch, but it's about
Ben Affleck.
It's begetting people. It's one guy begets one guy, and they keep eye for an eyeing one another. And then at the end of the day, they come together because of a plot.
Yeah, it just seems like a real Hollywood movie. That movie, it's like a real high concept. Somebody was like, "This is going to be great."
Well, it's like a Michael Clayton kind of Robert Redford.
Don't like Michael Clayton at all.
I like it. But we saw that together, actually.
We did. I didn't
Oh, my
like
Lord
it.
Almighty, we saw that together.
That movie fell real flat
when I was
for me.
living, oh, my God. That movie put me to sleep.
Yeah.
And it won an Oscar for Tilda Swinton, Best Supporting Actress.
Weirdly, I mean, she was good in it, but...
I know. I don't understand it.
That's not like an Oscar
That's one of those things where it's like,
I
I guess because it's just so not showy. I don't know. Her character is very interesting.
I mean, I'll give the Academy, if that was the intent, credit or kudos for doing a not showy performance, because that's not how they usually roll. But I don't. That her performance in my mind doesn't. I have no impression of it
exactly.
at all.
And she's such a memorable face.
A memorable, non-memorable.
She's like an extraterrestrial Bigfoot that we willingly accept.
For sure. It's like, there's all the like jokes about her and like her being David Bowie and like she's like, reincarnated spirit. I don't know. She's just such an ethereal, weird looking lady. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in like she's got a lot of character.
I love her so much.
She's great.
She's one of these people that if there's a new Tilda movie, I'll go see. Like who was the guy?
The Tilda movies.
The Tilda movies. They're great. They're great. They're good. Great.
They're good. Great.
The Cure for Wellness was not great.
No, it wasn't.
It was so boring, and I knew halfway.
I did do a good watch though.
What's that?
I did Don't Breathe.
What's that?
Which is the guy who did the the Evil Dead remake.
Okay.
He's a
oh yeah, the House Invader movie.
Yes, yeah.
The poster. Go ahead. Yeah,
very good.
I heard about this.
So I can't remember the director's name. He's from a small country, I think Spanish-speaking country or something of the like. Uruguay. He's from Uruguay, which I think is.
How bad does this movie get?
What do you mean,
how far does it go? Because I hear this movie is like the Nutso movie.
No, it's not. Evil Dead is extremely violent,
That's a Nutso movie,
and this movie was kind of in response to that, where it's much more about the suspense than it is about outright violence. It gets a little crazy at times, but it's extremely suspenseful.
Okay.
It's kind of more Hitchcockian, not quite Hitchcockian, but it's a very simple movie where you have a bunch of flipping the home invader thing, right? There's a lot of horror movies where there's a family and then home invaders in like pig masks come in and torture them for whatever reason, you don't know why, and it's some kind of weird sick game. This is the reverse. You have these young home invaders who kind of are motivated by having like these broken lives. They're in Detroit, not a lot of means, trying to get out of it. They break into this guy's house. And this guy's blind. That's the kicker.
Oh, and
he's blind, and then they're being hunted by this blind guy. I won't say any more, but that's the premise of the movie.
Was last year.
Yeah, very good reviews, and that's kind of what led me to it. I was like, it looks kind of interesting.
Definitely gonna check it out.
It's really good. It's a very simple movie. There are moments where, like any horror movie, you're like, that's a stupid decision, whatever. But the execution is really strong, beautifully shot. The director really has an eye for how to shoot stuff.
Who's the blind guy?
Oh my God, he's this big, muscly, like 50-year-old guy.
Is it an actor we know?
No, he's not a name that you would recognize, but he's a character actor that you'll go, oh, that guy. He's been in everything. Okay.
My arms are folded, so I'm not looking at my phone.
No,
we never look at our phone on this.
No, we don't. You don't need to.
When I did that Cure for Wellness bit song, that was me singing the whole time.
That was John. He can do this creepy little girl voice very well. But yeah, Don't Breathe was I think one of the best new movies I've seen in a while. Although I don't see that many new movies as they come out. I tend to be. I mean, it's not actually new. It's on VOD now.
I had to dig up that movie came out, and it's a shame that I would never have looked into it unless like you looked it up or because you saw it on Netflix.
No, I saw it on Apple TV.
Whoa, even better.
Rented. I paid for it.
Okay.
Although it's funny because I make a distinction that I pay for Apple movies, but I don't pay for Netflix. But I do pay for Netflix. But I think Netflix is free. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I pay for Netflix, and I'm fine with that. And we have a massive collection, and I'll go out to a movie.
Yep.
But I'm just
support your local cinemas, guys.
But not the bad ones. Go to the mall theaters because we saw Lego Batman in a mall and we saw
we saw Lego Batman at the Cavendish Mall, which is this mall. It's like pretty much a dead mall now.
It's a food court movie theater.
Movie theater, and like it's the place where all the old Altacuckers go and they hang out and they
have senior hours. They open at 4, they close at 4.
4 to 4. It's the senior hours. 4 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Senior hours.
Yeah, you get a lot of the old blue hairs there hanging out, having coffee and muffins at the coffee and muffin place that like isn't a chain that every mall has. Yeah, it's a place
it's called Muffin Buffin.
Yeah, or it's just or Muffins, which is that's actually probably a chain, but. It's those places where you're like, it's only in dead malls. It's not even in good malls. Only dead malls.
I'm terrified that I'm going to fall into that I'm just gonna turn into an old, like when I do become of age and become an old man, I'm just gonna.
You can't fight it, John.
I'll like take the covers off my sheet, and I'm just gonna wear like those golf pants and like
yeah, you have to wear the real soft blue shirt and the khaki
God,
pants and the comfortable shoes. Yeah, it's okay. You can't fight it.
I guess not.
That's where you're going. That's where we're all going before we go into the ground.
Like Bill Paxton.
Oh no! I forgot he died.
Can you believe he died the day of the Oscars? And then like
that sucked.
And what do you do? And immediately I thought of that movie, A Simple Plan, where.
We haven't seen it yet, so we got to watch that.
But that
or rather, we haven't watched it together. You've seen it.
What was the first movie you thought of when he died?
You know what? Aliens.
Aliens?
Yeah,
What's
Aliens.
his character's name?
I don't even remember.
Damn it! What does fucking Sigourney say in that movie? God damn it!
I
Cooper Bradley.
I don't know.
Cooper.
I just remember he always played these like. Isn't he in Tornado?
Hicks. It's Hicks.
Yeah,
God damn it, Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks. Yeah, he plays a lot of these funny, memorable weirdos. That was his thing.
Gee, man, I don't know, man. Like that guy, the Terminator got his he killed him, and what else is he in? He made a movie called Frailty with Matthew McConaughey.
That was pretty good.
That was a good movie. I think he directed it too.
He directed it. He
with
was
Powers
in it.
Booth.
Yeah, Powers Booth is great.
Yeah.
Powers Booth, I always forget
That had
about
a
Powers
twist.
Booth. It did have a twist, and it was not a bad one.
That came out at a time where Steven Soderbergh would be the reviewer of a movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Memento and Frailty, and I think something else at the time had Steven Soderbergh, like, this movie, challenges the whatever.
Right. They had a pull quote from him.
Yeah, Academy Award-winning Steven Soderbergh. And I thought, well, that's something. I'm going to check out Frailty. I mean, shit, Soderbergh is an excellent director.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I should rewatch Frailty. I don't remember. I saw it very young. I'd like to see it again just to see if it holds up at all.
Yeah, it's got McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey before the reconnaissance.
The reconnaissance.
Yeah.
He's going to have a Rene.
He's going to have a
McConaughey?
Reconnaissance? Wait, wasn't that a movie, Reconnaissance, or some shitty movie?
Let's see. Was Reconnaissance a movie? Was this like a James...
There was some kind of play on Reconnaissance that was a dumbass movie, I think.
Okay. It's not like a James Cameron going underwater to pick up some heart of the ocean.
No, right. The documentaries that he did in between movies that nobody watched.
My God.
Or maybe people watched. I never saw it.
National Geographic just plays them all the time.
Oh, really?
Into the Abyss and Asylum. No, that's Abyss. No, what's Asylum?
No, Abyss is a fictional movie. One of his first with the water, the CG water dick.
Then there's Into the Deep. Into the Deep.
Into the Deep.
I don't know. Cameron.
I think we're just going through ocean.
The
movies
Oscars,
now.
by the way, back to the Oscars. I don't know if you watched the telecast. You didn't. You were asleep. They had commercials consistently showing Avatar World at Disney World, and fucking terrifying. The animatronic we will see you there kind of thing. Like, it was just the worst. And Cameron is doing the Spielberg. This world that I've created is going to blow the fucking shorts off you at Disney World. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
And then on top of that...
Was anybody clamoring for an Avatar World? It's a little late, guys.
I mean, weren't you saying last week that you love it?
What? No, Avatar said it was one of the best 3D movies...
Stop the podcast now.
We'll stop the podcast now. Cut it off. Only because if you don't watch it in 3D, it's a fucking turd.
Sure. It's a long 3D movie, though. It's a long time to wear those glasses.
Yeah.
But the Avatar world, you're right. And I guess it's also an investment in these upcoming sequels.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're doing.
What if because
is anybody really needing those sequels, though? And also, are they going to shoot them?
Pirates of the Caribbeans. And I see Johnny Depp doing the same goddamn thing again.
And are they going to try and redo 3D again and have it back because of these new movies? Because now 3D is dead. The TV companies, it's dead. TV, it's dead because now they're no longer pushing it.
That was their solution to avoid piracy, is so that they couldn't record.
No, it was just
the way it looked.
No, not really. It was just a way to make more money because you could get another $5-10 on the ticket price.
Oh, but that's so awful. Movie theaters are suffering because it's like, what if that 3D movie sucks and you got a 3D hall that you renovated and nobody wants to see your shit?
The big problem is that Hollywood fucked it up because they got greedy. You can do 3D.
They fucked up the Best Picture winner.
That's it. But no, you can do 3D. You can do 3D well, and you can have it work. But it has to be shot natively in 3D. A lot of the places, I mean, look, post conversions can work, but you have to do it from the beginning. Take a lot of time.
But you have to know what you're looking for. You and I know what is shot in 3D and
what's shot in 3D, but the general public doesn't. And people got burned enough that they said, "Fuck this! I'm not going to see it in 3D."
Well, $100 for a family of 4 to go see Alice in Wonderland on a Saturday back in 2000.
Well, not to mention the TVs too. The whole thing was to try and push the TVs. You would have to wear these fucking awful glasses to watch the TV. The viewing angles sucked. If you have 4 people on the couch, depending on where you are, the 3D doesn't work.
They're
great.
ruining the rewatch.
Oh yeah,
they converted Top Gun to that 3D TV shit too.
Are you shitting me? Well, but the saving grace is that 3D stuff is done. The new TV's coming out now. Okay. They're doing 4K HDR, which is great, and HDR is a way better improvement compared to 3D. HDR is something that the average person can see the difference, and it's something you don't need glasses, you don't need any special tech to do it. It's I think we're going somewhere now. 4K, like 4K OLED. OLED is organic light emitting diodes. There's TVs that just have way better contrast. I don't know if you remember back in the day, everybody was getting plasma TVs because the contrast, the blacks were a lot blacker. Okay. So now that's the thing. Is like the Cadillac TV you can get is 4K OLED HDR. So that's, I think, I'm happy that Hollywood's embraced that because it seems more practical and it's less about, trying to get people's money specifically, like a cash grab, and getting people back into the theaters. So good job, Hollywood, I guess. But also fuck you for that long period of 3D shit.
After that Best Picture screw up, it's like Hollywood isn't even trying anymore. Like, you know how that's like a saying that is always had like of sequels and everything. That solidified it. Like, you can't even do one fucking job. Announce like and it's Best Picture. It's not sound editing. It's not director or whatever. It's picture.
Look, I'm gonna put the blame squarely on Brian. Brian, you done goofed.
You done goofed.
I mean, he's not invited back, but neither is Martha, the other lady. She got thrown under the bus because she didn't do anything wrong technically, but she didn't fix it quick enough. And they're supposed to have a fucking protocol. It's not rocket science. If you hear it and you're supposed to memorize the winners. That's your whole fucking job. Then you go, oh shit, that's not the case. Run it on stage. No, sorry, you're not the winners. We fucked up.
As a practicing herbacologist, I predict that the reason it was because no one wants to go tell Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway what to do.
Yeah,
nobody wants to be that guy. They don't want to. But also Hollywood because legends, I'm so scared,
But also because it would make if she ran out, people would think, oh, they fucked up.
Sure, but why? But look what you did.
It made it worse.
Look what you did. The clusterfuck that happened. Yeah, the can of worms that just got on everyone's face, and now I can't watch the Oscars without like, oh, they're going to screw up this time.
Yeah. Well, PwC, anyway. The firm that does that, I don't think they're even going to come back. They might come back if they. But here's the thing: they're not going to get charged. Because PwC is going to not charge the Oscars because they're going to try and save the contract. It'll go through a few stages. They're not going to try and charge them, but it could end up at the point where there could be litigation involved. Although if somebody was talking about this, there was an article about this online. If they're smart, they'll keep it behind closed doors and negotiate it. They'll either part ways or they'll figure out a way to make it work for the next time. But those two doofs are not coming back. It was
headache.
But also, it's the easiest job in the world. You have 20 envelopes. And you have to memorize the winners, and you literally just have to give the person the right envelope.
I think we waited enough time to talk about it because, if I had expressed all this 2 days after the fact, I wouldn't have because the sinking.
Well, now you know a little bit more about what happened about Brian being a fame whore. To blame
Faye right away, I don't know.
No, it's not really her fault. Faye didn't help by being I'm just gonna read what's on the card.
Exactly.
It's Brian's fuck up. Fuck you, Brian.
It's just
you dummy.
It's so terrible.
I'm so angry at Brian.
We started off this podcast angry, and we're so happy talking about all the lovely things.
It's just fun to shit on Brian. I could care less, but I just like the idea. I just don't like when somebody doesn't do their job well in any situation. So fuck you, Brian.
You sound like Spielberg right now.
Hold on. I'm doing the Spielberg power move now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Does he talk?
Do it fucking right, Harrison.
Do it fucking right. Oh my lord.
John, I just like to think that we all think that he has some kind of great directorial expertise, but that's what it is. He just cusses out his actors.
He should make a...
You know who does cuss out their actors?
Fincher.
Nope. The other guy, the famous Lily Tomlin video. Remember that?
Oh, God almighty. Yeah, him. O. Russell.
O. Russell. David O. Russell,
He cusses out his actors? I thought he only cussed out her.
No, dude. There's a bunch of videos. Him and George Clooney got in a fight on the set of
but that was before.
Three Kings.
He's on his meds now.
You think, though?
I think so. Because he cut his hair and he has a son who's got problems, so I think he had to become a better person.
No, I've heard that even on
American Hustle?
No, the boxing movie, he was a dick to a bunch of people.
Sure. I mean, being a director, you got to do your job. But I don't know, if being an asshole...
I don't know. I don't think calling your main actress a cunt is doing your job.
Oh, he was freaking out.
That was nuts.
He was fucking
if you want to Google David O. Russell freakouts, there's a couple. But it's kind of hilarious.
And it's actually on the bonus features on the... fucking DVD.
Weird. Maybe it was a bit then, but yeah, it was. It made me laugh though. As awful as some of it is, Lily Tomlin's totally unfazed by it first, but the second part is he's screaming, and then he goes off camera, and then he comes in through a door on the set. It's
and
like
kicks it and hits Jason Schwartzman. And there's a second bit where he's screaming at Lily again, and Isabelle Huppert is in the front seat because she's in the movie.
Oh, and they're in the car together.
Yeah, and that's Isabelle Huppert, who didn't win her Oscar because Emma Stone got her Oscar.
Why did Emma Stone win for that?
Isabelle was just wonderful this year.
Yeah,
but
she got the Golden Globe at least,
and the BAFTA, and the whole bunch, and the César.
I guess, if that matters to you.
Au monde pays le César. No, that's not. It's terrible. The Oscars. I'm just so glad it's over. Now we can stop talking about the Razzies. Never fucked up. You know?
Yeah, that they run a tight ship over the Razzies.
They definitely
know what's going on.
They know who the losers are over there.
Yeah.
Not La La Land.
Not La La Land.
That's the worst part about it.
Who won the Best Picture Razzie this year? Do you know?
It was the Hillary Clinton documentary.
Oh, the one by the weird guy who hates everybody.
And he won Worst Actor. And he won Worst Director.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking like in a documentary?
Yeah, like a Hillary Clinton thing swept. BWS.
Okay, but
that BVS swept in the Worst Duo and the Worst.
Yeah, okay. So I want to know like the shit I've seen, like what Hollywood stuff won.
Worst Supporting Actress was Jane Seymour.
She's in movies.
She's a worst supporting actress.
She only did like little
House on the Prairie, little Quinn on the Prairie.
Little Quinn on the Prairie, whatever.
No,
the fuck
she was in the Wayans Brothers 50 Shades of.
No way. She was in a Wayans Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Those Wayans alone. No. The Wayans are doing a Star Wars spoof now. Did you hear about this?
Oh,
they're doing their.
I mean, look, I guess they got a good thing going, but like. Remember when they made pretty decent spoofs like Don't Be a Menace?
And I'm gonna get you, sucker.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
But Don't Be a Menace is good. And,
Don't Be a Menace in South Central. You got to say the whole thing. Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Great movie. Very funny. I mean, like Zucker '90s funny, but yeah.
Vivica A. Fox. You got to go to school. You got to get off the streets. Otherwise, you'll end up working security for Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
that movie's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the Wayans, Marlon is excellent in Lady Killers, the Coen Brothers remake of the Lady Killers. He's fucking hilarious.
They're a talented bunch.
He's just so funny.
I just wish they would do more like legitimately funny stuff.
But he's got a show now, or he's got an MTV show that's like half Jackass, half stand-up.
Really?
Like you have to go up and
like they throw bottles at you or something?
No, it's not. It's not like it's Jackass in that you're doing stunt. I don't know. I gotta look it up. But he runs this comedians on fire kind of competition show.
Weird.
Not like literally on fire, like forcing people to be funny on the spot, fast and furious.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like
he's a game show host now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey,
Marlon.
That's cool.
But yeah, I really liked his work in Lady Killers. Like, and that's the thing. I
liked. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I quite enjoyed it.
It's these movies that grow on you. And God bless what you did with the one you watched today, Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Because it's like I forgot about that. I would never have.
Yeah, it kind of went under the radar. It did well. I think it made a bit of money. No, actually, it made quite a bit of money because it was a
February
like a $9 million budget.
And it was number one that weekend.
Yeah, and it made $100 million, which is not a huge success, but on a $9 million budget, that's pretty goddamn good.
And is this Blumhouse guy? Is this like a Lionsgate thing? Because Blumhouse is excellent.
No, it's Sony. It's Sony all the way. There was like 15 Sony logos
because they did the Evil Dead. But have you heard of Blumhouse? Jason Blumhouse has this production.
Blumhouse, right?
He does these horror movies, and
it was also Ghost House Pictures, which I like. I love. They have the best logo. It's like a little like plastic skeleton.
I think that
looks through a keyhole.
I think that's Zemeckis's.
Is it?
He did. Remember,
there were 15 logos on it. So I don't know.
Anyway, Blumhouse. He did all these horror movies, and then he made Whiplash, and then all of a sudden now he's he makes these not cheap, but like effective budgets.
Yeah, lower budget movies that make. Although Moonlight was the cheapest, the lowest budget Best Picture winner of all time.
Wow,
a $1.5 million budget, which is kind of cool because it's a real fuck you to like the Hollywood establishment. It's going to show you that like great independent filmmaking can go all the way to the top.
But then you're proud of this fact, and I'm thinking, well, they didn't give Moonlight their victory. You know what I mean? They robbed them of that.
They did a little bit.
They robbed them of that, and people are they going to remember? Are they going to know Moonlight won Best Picture or not? I think.
Oh no, they will. I mean, because of this controversy, for sure.
And then is this in response to last year's Oscars So White thing? Did they only give Moonlight Best Picture because of? Oh, we want people to say, we did Moonlight, so now we can go back to being...
the whole Academy, the voting membership, I think, probably realized it's a good movie. More than La La Land. I don't.
Definitely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
time.
100%.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because
it is
I think
better than La La Land.
Yeah, and I think anybody, the membership is made up of working people in the business. I feel like anybody who's been in the business and knows that, anybody even who hasn't been in the business can tell that's a better movie.
If this was the series finale of the Academy Awards, I'd be fucking happy.
It's a good way to go out.
Because 83 years old, if that were a person, you would definitely start showing your age.
Yeah.
And like after that snafu,
I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I just pare it down. Have an hour ceremony. Make
I was
it tight.
out the door. I was ready to go. The Uber guy was there. I had a flight home the next morning.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "No, come back."
Fuck.
They fucked it up, and what was the whole point? What was the whole point?
I don't know.
It's so funny. Cure for wellness.
A cure for wellness. Well, that's our cure for this week. So I'm Sean.
No, I'm John.
And we'll see you next week. Do the Spielberg power pose. Peace.
Peace.
Get it fucking right, Harrison.